Thank you everyone, distinguished guests, dear friends, dear colleagues. Greetings from Tunisia, North Africa, and Global Africa. I'm Hamza Ghedamsi from Tunisia and founder and chairperson of the Model African Union, the NGO, but also member of Learn to Change Network as an individual, but also as an NGO. We're flying through these symposia to tackle the role of civil society on democracy and sustainability. And we know that both at the level on local and global scale, civil society plays a crucial role in shaping and maintaining democracy and sustainability. And in Africa, especially, civil society organizations are drivers of political change. And these organizations serve as advocates for marginalized communities, standing up for their rights and holding governments accountable. In countries, civil society has been instrumental in promoting transparency, combating corruption, fostering inclusive governance. Moreover, civil society acts as a catalyst for development through initiatives focused on preservation, economic justice, and social equality. On the level of the role of civil society, it holds equal significance. And non-governmental organizations and grassroots movements contribute to shape policies while influencing the actions of corporations and holding governments responsible for their decisions. And this, of course, when civil society takes place on really being active in decision-making process. The advocacy work done by civil society actors borders resonate strongly in the areas of human rights protection mainly, and environmental conservations, and we have seen the distinguished keynote speakers talking about climate change, climate justice, and social justice, of course. This creates a network of interconnected efforts and bring together atomized initiatives that address challenges. Additionally to this, civil society plays a role in promoting cooperation and collaboration between nations to foster a commitment to democratic principles and sustainable development. And one of these forms, we can see it concrete through the work that we are trying to do inside the Learn to Change network and worldwide. And ultimately, the influence of civil society extends beyond nations to create a sense of interconnectedness between democracy and sustainability. Civil society contributes effectively in the intervention to implement the Agenda 2063 of the African Union with its 7 aspirations and the Agenda 2030 of Sustainable Development and the 17 SDGs to establish good governance, democracy, rule of law, and climate justice. And facing similar development challenges, the people of the continent, I mean African continent and worldwide, will be called to turn to their identity, their humanity, to prove that they are totally free, conscious, and proud of their affiliations. With the highest rate of young population, for example, I'm talking about Africa in this case, education remains the first key to install real democracy, social justice, and to realize African development in relation with global development for next generations. And here, of course, civil society plays a role for democracy and sustainability today more than ever. I may maybe add that despite all this effort, there are many challenges facing civil society today. We have seen mainly this restriction of freedom of expressions through many recent international events or whatever, and civil society are encountering increased restriction on freedom of expression in various parts of the world. But also from the challenges, there is this financial constraint because civil society actions and interventions are mainly volunteer and coming from a will to make change and a need to make change. So there is this struggle with financial constraints to sustain with operation to do to make sustainable these operations and initiatives. This compromise the independence sometimes and limit the impact of civil society. Of course, from the challenges, there is the political polarizations, where in our era, in this era of growing political polarization, civil society often finds itself caught in the crossfire. And a polarized environment can handle cooperation and pursue the common goals. Equal, let's say, access to technology, or we can make it as technological challenges too. And this is also a limit somehow actions or the extent of interventions of civil society. Despite these challenges, there are some mechanisms to come over them through strengthening international collaborations. And we are seeing such example concrete through what we are trying to achieve here together, starting from the 22nd of November in Germany, Hanover, flying to Tunisia 25th of November, and now today we are landing here in Kampala, Uganda, with all this great team. Also, to diversifying funding resources, either through volunteer interventions or circular economy, solidar economy, etc. Advocating also for legal protection mainly, and engage to install and build legal frameworks that protect independence and freedom of operation, but also make it more flexible for civil society to act in level, on grassroots level, national, regional, and of course international one. But of course, one important point is empowering local initiatives. The efforts that have been done should also be empowered, mainly in local initiatives, grassroots organizations. If I want to be more specific regarding Africa, I would again come and highlight that in Africa level population, it's 75% of the population, they are between 0 and 35 years old. 3/4 of the population is in this range of age. And in 2018, we estimated this population between 15 years old and 35 years old to be almost 500 million, and estimated in 2063 to be 1 billion between 15 years old and 35 years old. Of course, it's demographic dividend, which is the wealth of African, but also worldwide wealth. And they are the actors mainly through civil society, but this could not stop only in civil society level. This youth should engage as in decision-making process as civic actors, as political actors, etc. And the mechanisms, of course, in continental and regional level, they are plenty. And mentioning this to highlight the AU treaties, that they are there with many other treaties worldwide, like the African Charter on Human and People Rights, the Maputo Protocol for African Women Rights, the African Youth Charter, and the APSA, the African Peace and Security Architecture. But also adding to this international level, also the resolution 2250 of the Security Council of the United Nations, giving the space for youth to build peace. And of course, today, civil society is trying to plant this stable, prosperous ground to be able to achieve sustainability, to install democracy. So in conclusion, mainly the role of civil society is enhancing democracy and promoting sustainability by acknowledging the challenges they face and implementing effective mechanisms. We can empower civil society to overcome the obstacles, to achieve their objectives, and contribute to a world characterized by resilience, peace, equality, and prosperity for all. And finally, I would finish this to say together that we have to act for democracy, just peace, and sustainability in Africa and worldwide, for the resilience and the prosperity of all humanity. Our diversity is our strength, and our commitment is our power. Thank you.